Have you ever tried to make candy smoked pork belly steaks? It's super easy, and let me show you how it's done.
A big thanks to Lotus Grills for sponsoring this episode.
Candied smoked pork belly. It is extra tasty. And the reason that we're going to make it today because it's super popular. It's basically pork belly burned ends, but a big version of it. And therefore maybe even better. I don't know if you saw the video, but a while ago I smoked beef ribs on my compact grill and the results were mind-blowing. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the pork belly steaks, except I got a larger version of that compact grill. It's no longer a compact grill because this is now extra large. But before I'm going to fire up the Lotus grill, I'm first going to prepare my pork belly. Of course, I selected a large piece of pork belly. And as you can see, it is the part where we still have a little bit of ribs and the rest of it is real pork belly. Because basically this will be pork chest meat. And that is over the part where the ribs used to be. In itself, that is a good thing because, you know, we love our ribs. And that means we have a beautiful piece of meat with mixed part of the pork. Now we only need to get this into steaks. And the best way to do it is to not cut them too big, but also not too thin. I don't want strips. I want real steaks because I'm going to take this up to a 98 degrees Celsius core temperature. And once they're all sliced up, I'm going to use some pork seasoning. Now, the pork seasoning is absolutely perfect for any style of pork that you'll be cooking on the barbecue. And you can use this as a marinade, as a brine. That is what kind of makes it unique in itself. Of course, we're going to season this heavily. Make sure that we have a little bit of that seasoning everywhere. The PITMASTERX pork seasoning has a little bit of sugar in it. That's going to help with the sweetness. It's going to help caramelize the meat. And that's when you're going to get that little bit of burned end effect. But it also means you need to keep your eye on your temperatures and check the meat to make sure that the sugars don't burn. And it kind of means we're going to get some delicious pork steaks with very little effort. Now, of course, you can buy this in our web shop. But if you just want to recreate this yourself, make the recipe, then it's on our website, PITMASTERX.com. I'm gonna roll these around, make sure I got everything that is on the board onto these steaks. Now they're all prepped up and ready for the barbecue. To start up this grill super easy, I'm just gonna put in a little bit of gel and I lit it up. Now I'm going to put in some charcoal. Now these baskets are super big and that is convenient because I'm gonna do a longer cook and therefore I'm gonna need a little bit more charcoal. Now this is a super awesome grill and it can perform really well, but the amazing thing is that this is also almost a smokeless grill. Now in itself that's a good thing because that means it can cook really clean. But it also means I'm going to add a little bit more smoke wood. Just to make sure I got plenty of smoke for the pork bellies. These are oak barrel wood chips. I'm just going to add these. As you can see, I didn't fill it all the way up to the top because more fuel means more heat in this grill. Now I'm going to put the lid on. That's going to be my diffuser. Then I'm going to put the grill grates on, clamp it shut. I'm going to touch this dial, switch it on, and then I can just start it up, let the fan blow, and you almost can't hear the fan, but it's working. As you see, we get a little bit of smoke. That means it's time to put the candy pork belly steaks on. I'm just going to place these around the outside so all the fat dripping goes into the bowl. And the cool thing is that the fat drippings can't go into the fire. A couple of these in the middle. As you can see, I got plenty of smoke. I'm going to put the lid on and now I'm capturing that smoke, so I don't need that much of it anymore and I don't need the heat either. And now I just gotta wait until the barbecue comes up to temperature, and if not, I'm just gonna touch the dial a little bit, let the barbecue come up to temperature, and then I'm just gonna slow it down, tuning it in to a smoking temperature of 120 degrees Celsius, which is around 240 degrees Fahrenheit. Once I got plenty of color on my pork belly, it's time to take it off. The fat is now starting to render down and I want to capture some of it, so I'm placing it in aluminum foil. So while the pork belly is continuing to cook, I'm going to capture all of that fat. It's going to make my pork belly nice and juicy. And of course, we keep all the flavors. Because of the fat, I'm not going to need any butter, but I do want to put on a little bit of sugar. And I'm using dark brown sugar because it has the most flavor. It's going to give it almost like a molasses style of flavor profile. I'm going to top it off with some raspberry chipotle from Blues Hawk. And this stuff is super sweet and it's got a little hint of sharpness. But it's basically sugar, honey, A little bit of heat, but a lot of sweet. Wrap it up nice and compact, fold it, close it and seal it. I use a heavy duty aluminum foil, so that's going to keep it safe, but just to make sure that none of that sugar is going to burn, I'm going to put an extra cooking rack on here to elevate it a little bit more. That way it's a little further from the heat source. The aluminum foil is going to keep it safe. I'm just going to put the lid on. On top of the lid, there's a thermometer. I'm just shooting again for that 120 degrees Celsius, 240 degrees Fahrenheit. I already smoked them for about 2 hours. And now I'm just going to keep on going until I hit the temperature of around 92 degrees Celsius core temperature. And I've already been smoking for about 2 hours, but I'm expecting these to take another 2 hours just sitting like this. Let me check the temperature, 93 degrees Celsius core temperature. Now let's unpack this, take a closer look at it. Oh, there's a lot of juices here and I don't want to lose them. So I'm going to get a tray, put it in there and then take a look at it. That's what I'm talking about. Pork belly. It never disappoints. I never ever did want to lose those juices. Look at this. Now that is one tasty pork belly steak. That is looking good. Now they already look amazing, but we're going to make them even better. I'm going to put these, just to roll them through the juices, and then I'm going to put them back on the grill. Going to get that little sizzle. Now another layer of flavor comes from a little bit more barbecue sauce to give them that beautiful shine. Get them nice and candied up. These are going to be so delicious. Super sweet, just the way I like my pork belly steaks. Give them another 5 minutes for them to be all done. Look at that. Not much food in the world looks better than barbecue. Beautiful smoky color combined with that delicious browning on the meat. Oh boy. If that doesn't get you hungry, I don't know what does. You can call me up for this anytime. Just look at this. It looks so freaking delicious. All right, let's give it a try. That is freaking delicious. It is so soft. It is insane. I love pork belly. Candied pork belly steaks from the barbecue. It can be beat. It's juicy, it is soft, it is delicious. Ha.
How's the smoke flavor?
Oh, insane. You want to try? Or you're just creating your own invitation?
Yeah, that would be so Dutch actually, to do that.
The Dutch thing would be to eat it all by yourself.
That's candy.
Recipes on PITMASTERX. Go check it out. See you guys next time.
Cheers.
We haven't had good pork belly in a while.
Yeah, true. The last time was
Yeah, we had a little holiday break. Last week.
last week.